everyone, Hella here. How are you all? Oh, it's good to see so many of you here already. Um, yeah, wow. Last time I went live on a Delphi stream, was it last time or the time before? It was like famous. I got restreamed. Lucky me. How silly. How silly, how silly. I'm going to say hi to everybody. Hey, because you're all so lovely. Hey, Lorcom. Don't you quit on me. Don't you quit on me. Don't you quit on me. And free Zach. Free Zach, my friend. In a few weeks' time, once this Karen Reid thing's over, we're going to get back into free Zachariah Anderson. So everybody stick around for that. That'll blow your mind. Hey, unindicted co-conspirator, I think everyone needs to decide where their boundaries are when it comes to Delphi for their own health, and we need to respect the boundaries of others. Yes, we'll talk about that in a moment. And hello, is that Candy? I say free Rick. I so get it, I am not with the drama, but will support where it's needed if ever I can. Good for you. Good for you. Hello, John. John, my friend, it's so good to have you here live on the stream. You're one of my best buddies. Hello all, please like the stream, hit the notification bell as a reminder for when the stream goes live. Make sure it's the heavy one, not the little empty one. The heavy bell. Yes, Trial Junkie is here. Good to see you. Cat Astrophy. You are awesome. Hey yo, hella, hella. Tracy Burton is here. Hi, how are you? And Susan Stevenson, good to see you. Oh, real chill grass. Okay. Hey, Spicy Hot Pocket. Love ya. And Venus here. Hi. JJ, hi. How are you? Ma. Lisa, good to see you. And Rose Adams, Shaboogies, mate. So many eyes. Rotstar, how's it going? Tatiana says, hey all, hugs all around. I can't keep up with the chat, so I'll be hanging back. Oh, but I love it when you're chatting. Please hit the like, everyone. Yes, please. Belle Mayhem is here. Hello. Keith. How's it going, Keith? Who won the Investigative Award for taking pictures of box cutters but never collecting them? Is that a trivia question? All Eyes, what did All Eyes post about? I haven't seen that yet. Although she always says good stuff, useful stuff, not drama stuff, generally. Yes. Look at those box cutters no one collected. Yes. Yeah, see, I saw you, Candy. I saw you. I knew you changed your name. Hammy is here. Hey, Hammy. Hey, ham sauce. I don't say it right. See, my Aussie accent doesn't say it right. Ham sauce. Ham sauce. Dear. Hello. Is Karen Reid ever going to be over? I doubt it. I think there's going to be another hung jury and they'll do it again and again and again, and it's just going to be Groundhog Day. Top chat check. Dali says, Hella, can you do a stream on how to avoid YouTube drama? It's a bit of an in-joke between us. Someone we knew once did a stream called How to Avoid Drama, and it was basically a drama stream. and it was all just like passive aggressive, like references towards other creators about all this stuff that they'd done. So and so said something about this, and then so and so did this, and we can't we can't be allowing drama to happen because that's all drama. So um, we don't do drama here, bro. No drama, bro. Love you, bro. And it was just like the biggest drama stream ever, and it got lots of numbers and stuff. And it's just like, you said you weren't going to do drama, but that was just all drama, right? And so using the word drama in a stream and then saying you're not going to do drama, but then just doing drama is a bit hypocritical, right? So this stream today is actually truly, it's weird because I mean I'm actually using the word drama and I'm saying I'm not having any more of it, right? This is my last word on it. We'll get to that in a minute. I just need to continue saying hi to people. But that, yes, can we do a drama stream about how not to do drama? Christine's courtroom. How are you? Oh dear, true crime addicted. Hey, you're not very late. I'm just saying hi to people. That's right. And Dali got into that chat and he said, when I politely asked him about it, he blocked me and insulted Hella. Yeah, because that wasn't dramatic. So we don't do drama here, bro. And like 5 people thought he meant them and no one understood. Yeah. We're not talking about anyone you guys know, I don't think. This was a while ago. Hey, Torso. I like the streams who act like drama is somehow helpful to the actual case. It's not. Give you a hint. I've been around for a while. It's not. If I don't trust me, bro, why would I ever make someone else trust me, bro? Right, Kat? I will not participate in the drama. No. I said no. I said no to the drama. Ah, dear. Doug Carter is drama. Yeah, in fact.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous nonsense.
In fact, I'll even go so far as to do this
How about
one.
we hit that reset button and understand that justice in this country was served, and if you don't like justice in this country, go to another one.
Okay. Sure. Hey, Veronica. Jamie. I said my last turd words an hour or so ago. Oh, your ears are burning? Sorry, Doug. Sorry. Yeah, go to another chat if you don't like justice. Oh, stop it. It's called a public opinion. Gross. It's interesting, isn't it? Because remember when he said, tone down the rhetoric, right? And they wanted so much for us to just be quiet and to let the conviction stand, and for all of us just to, yeah, tone down the rhetoric, right? And now here we are fighting amongst ourselves, and it's like we're self-destructing, kind of doing exactly what he said, right? Yeah. Fiend says, I go to another chat if there isn't enough drama. Well, yeah. I'm not fighting with you, Heather. I'm a pretty hard person to fight with because I tend to sort of see the other person's side too much, right? Like I don't double down. I go, oh, that's really interesting. Could you explain that a bit more? Oh, okay, I can see your point of view. And it bugs people because they expect me to go, and I don't do it. Yeah. So, all right, here's the deal. Here's the deal. So, I said on, I think it was my last stream. I think it was my last stream. Yeah. I said on my last stream that I was going to, yeah, how I ended up my last stream, I think it was. I said that I'm going to have more people on and I'm going to allow there to be different points of view, and I'm going to I wanted to make it clear that I'm not like pushing a narrative or anything like that. Um, and it's a very neutral spot, which it is. I said all those things. And since then, stuff's happened. Um, and there's what's become really clear to me is that there is no neutrality between people who are following the Rick Allen case. Like there's no space for neutrality, right? This is so far beyond anything. Unfortunately, it seems like it's so far beyond something that can be fixed. There's so much arguing, sad, but there's so much arguing, there's so much bad blood between so many people that a space for neutrality seems kind of defunct. So I don't. I suppose it's sort of my blind optimism that there could have been any room for there to be some sort of fruitful discussion, uh, and me creating a space for that seems to be just putting myself in the firing line for what, right? For what? It's not going to help Rick, and that's my goal, to help Rick. Yeah. Um, and my goal is still to help Rick. So that said, uh, my take on the matter now is I need to I need to focus just on if there's something that I can help with in regard to helping Rick, like actually focusing on evidence. If something new comes out that could help him get a new trial, I guess I'm on call. But as far as facilitating any sort of meaningful discussion, why? Because there is none, right? Doesn't feel like there's any point. Um, it's it's kind of like it's more than sad. I've never really seen anything like it. Not in not in the wrongful conviction space. I've seen it in the only thing I can really compare it to is uh, some of the stuff that's been going on with like maybe the Sebastian Rogers case, right? Have you seen all of the really nasty shit that's been going on between the creators in that space? Like just like one of them's even gone to court, right? For harassing one of the families. well, the family of the missing boy. Like the evil doxing, just creators going at each other and going at the family that's lost the boy, and then the stepdad, and it just from it happened within a couple of weeks of the boy going missing, and just people going crazy because like the the power of the social media frenzy and people buying into the storyline, it just went berserk and quickly. This has been going on far longer. It's a completely different story, obviously, and but there's a mystery to it, and there's emotion to it, and I just see people thinking, "Oh, I know more about it than you," and um, "You're so vile because you are trying to make money out of it." That these sorts of conversations happen, and it's the only thing I can really compare it to in terms of like the behavior. I've seen a few bad ones. Some nasty things happened in the Murdoch case as well. This one, the more I'm like reading and seeing how people are reacting and attacking one another and their motives, the more I'm like, oh, isn't this about Rick? And yeah, so and that's why I compare it to the other case, Sebastian. Isn't it about Sebastian? People get going, oh, isn't it about Sebastian? Well, yeah, isn't this about Rick? And then people try and call each other out and go, hey, isn't it about Rick? And then they turn it around and go, oh, but you said that. Oh, but you said that. Wasn't that about Rick? You weren't about Rick then. And no one can ever forget the stuff that's happened. And that's where I was the other day when I was talking. I was like, guys, can't we just draw a line in the sand and go, stuff happened. Okay, some stuff happened. Everyone's going to feel some animosity about some stuff that happens. But can we not just put that stuff aside and go, well, that happened to me, all right, and I got my feelings hurt. Maybe that person shouldn't have done that thing to me, but that's about me and my feelings. But the ultimate goal is Rick Allen's appeal. So how can we all help Rick Allen's appeal? Can't we all just put all that stuff behind us and focus on that? But then the more I look at the conversations that are happening, the more I'm like, no, can't see it happening. Hey Nick, I wish more people had a few fucks to give as I have. I report what I find out, and sometimes new information makes me reevaluate. So old opinions might no longer be valid. Be valid. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's going on in chat? Are people arguing in chat? Seriously? Hey, Dark Arts by Adrian. Evil doxing is real though, and it needs to be called out. And some of these people have you all fooled. It sucks to come to terms with, but these people are actually hurting Rick and obstructing truth. How? Obstructing truth, how? What truth? I mean, what? Are they going into his cell and hurting him? How is, okay, let me put it this way, Adrian. Let me put it this way. if we were to stop all this right now and focus on spreading the word of Rick's, not so much innocence, but him having uh, an unfair trial. His trial was not fair. The outcome of his trial deserves a review. His appeal requires looking at. So therefore, the stuff on the website, have you read the new website, Adrian? Right? And please forget who contributed to the website. Please forget that that was Luke who wrote the website. Have you read the website? Right? So forget about BG video, forget about contracts, forget about all that stuff. Have you read the website? Okay? Forget about who owns it, forget all that stuff, right? Have you read it? Because the information that's on it is very good. And you know what? People coming in who are seeing, say, for example, the interrogation videos and are watching, say, Sergio, right, doing the analysis of the interrogation videos. Sergio's his name, right? Truth Revealed. And are wondering, hey, something went wrong here. I'm new to this. I heard he got found guilty. I don't think that they got it right. I need to look more into this. What's this rickallenjustice.com? Rickallenjustice.com. And they look at it and they're like, oh, this is good information. Okay, great. Isn't that a good thing? How is that hurting Rick? And then they tell their friends, right? And they share it. How is that a bad thing? Like, how is what has been done there a bad thing? Why can't we all get behind just that and put everything else aside for a sec, right? And focus on that. Because I tell you something, the biggest insult that can be thrown at me is, oh, you're new, right? You're new and you don't understand and you don't get the truth, right? But you know who's newer than me? Those people. Those people who are seeing this stuff for the first time or only just watch bits of the trial or are only just seeing the interrogations and are wondering, hey, what's this about? And I don't think he's guilty. And then they are like looking for a resource and they go and look for a resource and finally now they can go find one nice and quickly. And they find it and the information's finally there, right? Quickly. They don't have to go search through 4-hour lives all over the place. And you know what's happening? And this is scary, guys, is that when they find it and then they go and look for YouTube channels and people to go and hang out with, you know what they're finding? They're finding us arguing with each other. They're finding us arguing with each other and they're like, what the hell is this all about? I'm confused. What's all this? And we look like idiots. They're like, can't you guys even, like, what's this about a contract? What's this about you guys not understanding the truth? You don't know the truth. You're new, blah, 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 right? You want money. What's pro bono? Like, what's going on? Like, is Rick in danger? Rick's not in danger. I know Rick better than you. What do you think new people coming in think of all that? Do you not think we're playing right into Doug Carter's hands right now? Hey, Michael. How are you, mate? look, I'm not saying that we should. I'm not saying we should never ever have any constructive feedback for one another. And again, with the website, right? I said it the other day. I'm not saying that the website is 100% everything perfect about it, and we should never make any adjustments to it, right? That's just an example. But the shit that's being thrown at one another publicly is horrible, and it looks really bad. It looks really bad, especially if someone is coming in and doesn't know us all from a bar of soap, and they are doubting this verdict, and they want more information, and they're coming in and they're like, who are these people who hate each other? Why do these people hate each other? Don't they all think Rick Allen is innocent? Why can't I just ask a question without being like jumped on and, oh, which side are you on? You see? Oh, don't go to the website. Who made the website? Who owns the website domain? Really? Uh, who not to trust? For what? For what? I know you guys probably think I'm stupid, right? But okay. I'm a marketer, right? I look at things from the outside perspective. So I look at things from the audience perspective. I don't look at things inward. I look at them outward, right? So I look at it from the perspective of somebody else coming in and looking at us. Yeah. And I know, especially based on comments that I've received from people who are newer to the case, that they're like, I don't understand all this stuff that people are going on about. I don't get why people are arguing with one another. Where can I just get basic information about why Rick Allen is innocent? Even the question, where's the proof that Rick Allen is innocent? People are still going with the reasoning that he doesn't have to prove he's innocent. Well, he's been found guilty now. So yeah, we do need to show what went wrong. So guys, I wasn't going to have any guests today, but because this is the last time I'm going to be talking about these matters, I had a request from somebody to pop on, and I wanted to give this person space to do so. So I'd like to welcome Michael. How are
Hi,
you?
can you hear me?
Yeah,
I'm doing great. A little tired, but doing
good,
great.
good, good.
So yeah, this is gonna, I don't mean to, butt in on your swan song, but maybe we can swan together.
Let's swan. Why not? Oh, mate, how's your life going? Relaxed and
My
chill?
life, yeah, pretty much. But before I go on to other things, I thought there might be a couple of things that could be cleaned up permanently, and
Please go ahead. Do you mind if I just turn my camera off and let my cat out? You talk.
I'm still cutting out.
No, you're fine. I just have to turn the cat, put the cat out because otherwise he's going to go crazy. So you keep talking. Go for your life.
Oh,
Are you still there?
I'm still here, and I don't know. I think the two things I'd like to clean up. once and for all on actual knowledge instead of hearsay that's running around is the provenance of the BG video and this whole contract kerfuffle.
Mm-hmm.
And the BG video, whatever anybody says, is straight out of the phone extraction I was given. Andy Baldwin said it was okay to release it, so Angela got it. Period.
Okay.
There are a lot of good questions to ask about the BG video. My favorite question is, and it's based on the eyewitness testimony, why did all the people at the trial say that wasn't what was presented as the original? There are some other good questions to ask about it, but that it's fake, that it's AI. If it's fake, if it's AI, it's straight out of the phone extraction. So how did it get there? I don't know. But beating up people for how this was, that this is somehow a put on, is pointless. The other thing is people are throwing around allegations that somebody's going to jail. No, it's a copy of an exhibit. It is a copy of a public record.
Mm.
Nobody's looking at jail for the BG video having been released. Happy to take questions, even hard questions. I'm going to try and limit what I have to say to personal knowledge. And
Sure.
if it's not limited to personal knowledge, if I'm talking about something I've been told, I will make my own hearsay objection.
Will it be an excited utterance? So,
there's
we've
too
got
many of those around already.
That's true. That's true.
Although you're one of a kind.
Oh, thank you. If anyone wants to ask Michael a question, would you mind putting a red question mark emoji in chat so I can just make sure that I get it?
Just about the BG video for now. We'll get on to other things.
Yeah, just about that for now. Yeah. Crazy Girl says, couldn't we have said this a long time ago, though?
No, because some people weren't willing to be honest about what they had said.
Okay. So,
and again, I want to tell everybody, I can't talk about the details now, but
sure.
there's a lot about the phone data to be suspicious of. I don't know how these. I'm not a phone expert.
Yes.
I play one in the movies, and nobody's nominating me for an Oscar. I've spent over 50 hours with the phone data. It's all very interesting, but it's also very weird.
Sorry, I just have to let my cat back in again because he decides to go outside and come back in. So Trial Junkie said, did we see the whole video?
It's as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
You saw everything that came out of the phone.
So I'll just ask something though.
Let me be clear.
Yeah.
I don't know what came out of the phone. I know what was
Right.
given to me as the phone extraction. I have various different reports that can be generated out of the data. I think there were a couple of different extractions. One was illogical and one was physical. I haven't quite sorted out which piece of software is analyzing which. You know, there are things there's some results that you need codes for, and I certainly don't have the expertise to go into the actual databases and find out what the codes are.
Is anything known about the wrong GPS location, for instance?
I can say this, you know, the explanation at the trial was that it took time. This is my understanding. Look, I wasn't at the trial. I'm relying more or less on Andrea Burkhart's and to some extent Bob Motta's and Lawyer Lee's accounts of what happened at the trial. I mean, I think they were all amazing. I spent the most time with Andrea Burkhart because she's the appellate lawyer, and that's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
And Bob gets into the fights, and Lawyer Lee is like really brief and tries to condense it down, and Andrea does more. You know, she does the details, but she does the implications of the details too.
That's true. That's true. Guy Vermectin just wants to say no. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, go.
No question. Just wanted to say what a great legal mind Michael is. Oh, aren't you nice, Guy Vermectin? Oh.
Well, thanks for the kind words. You know, whether I'm a good lawyer or a bad lawyer, I'm an even better investigator, frankly. And you know, I've got a 25-year-old murder case from someplace where you know, a student of mine and I have been all over the crime scene photos, and the stuff we have found that makes a difference that nobody else in 25 years has found is pretty remarkable. And it's not because I'm any genius. Everybody's got different eyes, and that's why, to go to your point about the community,
yes.
Now there are two people out there. There are two people out there who are insistent on attributing every bad motive possible to anybody on absolutely zero actual information. And, you know, when they're talking about the evidence, they do some pretty decent work. Don't agree with all the results, but it's interesting. But, you know, as far as being montagnards in this revolution, you know, going after everybody else for their supposed ill motives is a very bad look.
I just don't understand it. I don't get
and
it. And yeah,
you know, somebody today, and I think that somebody is in your chat, was saying today that well, it's all true because this person has spoken to my overlords.
What? What?
Yeah, that's a quote. That's a quote. And no, there are about 4 people out there who are claiming inside information, and they may have some, but whatever they're passing along is hearsay to these 2 people, and they are just wrong about what they're saying. I don't know whether it's intentional or they're misinformed, but it's wrong. Period. The end. And they have no receipt. So let's get on to the contract.
All right, sure. Hang on a minute. Hey, Sleuthy. I don't know if I'm a long way back in chat, which me and Angela addressed here however long ago. Yeah. Okay, so contract. Oh, just firstly.
Yeah, the contract.
Was it important that a person in a foreign country host the video? No.
it was nobody was thinking of that, and it's just preposterous, and it's
How can we
yeah.
be sure your contract got to Cassie at, I suppose, at all? Hey, Emily, how are you?
So I'm not going. I can tell you it did.
Yeah.
I can tell you it did. Let's just start one thing.
Okay, just
Let's get back
speak.
to the
Yeah.
beginning. So we came up. We came up with a bunch of stuff, and actually on a particular day, uh, I called up one of the people who matter. I'm not going to name names, but there are people who matter and people who don't, and the
Mm.
so-called four insiders or are people who don't.
Okay.
Um, and I said, I just wanted to keep people updated. We found this, this, and this, and we kind of need more to push this thing ahead. And I suggested that Kara and I become, quote, post-conviction counsel for the purpose of getting the investigation going, because it's an 8.5-year-old case already, or almost 8.5
Mm.
years old.
Yes.
Uh, and witnesses die, disappear, forget,
Yeah.
evidence disappears. Um, and I can go into timelines later, but that was basically it. And so, so that people would be comfortable with us having access to the discovery, we suggested becoming post-conviction counsel. At which point I was asked to write up an agreement and send it to people who mattered.
Hmm.
So I spent probably 6 hours, maybe only 5, writing an extremely bespoke retainer agreement, trying to cover any and all bases. And send it off with an invitation to change whatever. Then 2 days later, oh, and by the way, I sent it off. So there's been the allegation that because Kara and I signed it, it was a take it or leave it deal. What people didn't include in their accounts is that, yes, I sent the signed PDF version off,
Yes.
but I also sent the Word version off saying, change whatever you like.
Okay. Yep.
Hadn't heard anything in 2 days, so I just sent a text off to a person who matters saying, just following up on the agreement. If there are any problems, let us know. Kara and I are willing to help in pretty much any way that's useful. Never really heard anything. Nothing. The allegation that in any way we badgered Kathy Allen or that I showed up at her door,
What? Who said that?
or that I didn't. Oh, one of the people in your chat is all over it.
Okay.
All over it. One of the people in your chat is all over it and claiming it's a coercive agreement.
Okay.
Uh, uh, people who absolutely know nothing.
Can you
People
be
who
disbarred for that? Like turning up to someone's door and like trying to get someone to sign something?
certainly a complaint could be filed. I don't know whether I'd be disbarred for it or not.
Yeah.
But the idea that it was, I ever said that, the changes were proposed, and I said it's perfect. I'm not changing a thing. it just never happened.
Sure.
And in fact, yeah, we never really got any answer about the contract. And, people don't. I think so. Let's leap ahead.
Yeah. Cool.
So, I don't know what the motive of, I don't know who leaked this thing to various people or why. It was obviously, let me deal with the money thing for a minute.
Sure.
I mean, it was literally and explicitly in several places, no money for Kara or me. None. When that became clear, it was me maybe clout chasing or attention seeking or, yeah, I don't think so. It's hard to gauge people's intentions. This is kind of what I have done for 25 years. There's an incredible community out there. I want to share as much as possible for all of you to work on, as you did, Hella, on the car picks, and some
Yeah.
people have done some really interesting work on the BG audio. I don't know about the video so much. People see different things and have different talents, and I'm not attention seeking. I think publicity for Rick's really dire situation is important. And if I can participate in that and provide things for people to work on, to come up with other ideas where I don't have any or any expertise, I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And frankly, I think these two sites that are, I mean, it's now come up to, Kara and I are part of the reason. It was alleged today, Kara and I are part of the reason the defense of Rick failed at trial, and that uninfluenced lawyers need to be found.
Yes.
That is so ridiculous. Yeah, these people and their uniparty ideas, and it's just, I don't know. It's bizarre. So anyway, that's the contract. And the contract was not the point. And so we'll get into timelines here.
Yes.
I talked to, and by the way, I showed that agreement to several lawyers when we hadn't heard back. You see any problems with this? No, they thought it was all great. And that's fine. People don't have to agree. I'm not saying, but the contract was never really the point. I mean, as I said, when going back to the original phone call, it was about getting in a way that made people comfortable. And I didn't want all 20 terabytes of the stuff. I mean, there's a whole list of specific things, right?
Yes.
Sort of following up on, and to know what's been covered and what's not been covered. And so let's go to timelines. So the most experienced post-conviction lawyer in the state, he's sort of semi-retired now, but he's also baddest ass litigator in post-conviction cases there probably ever was.
Yeah.
His guess is that Rick's appeal won't be briefed until the beginning of next year. Now, I think it could be briefed as early as the beginning or middle of November. But let's say that there's an oral argument.
Yes.
That won't happen until end of January, February at the earliest. And it'll be 6 weeks, 8 weeks. It's a big case. It could be let's just say 8 weeks.
Yes.
So that's that's the middle of April, beginning middle of April.
Hmm.
Then whoever loses is going to go to the Indiana Supreme Court. Filing a petition there, you have 45 days. And I'm assuming here everybody's going to take their full amount of time. And even in the Court of Appeals, I think both sides are going to get at least one extension on the brief.
Hmm.
But it's 45 days in the Supreme Court. So, we're talking about the middle of, let's say, the middle of April to that's the 1st of June. Then the other side has, and I forget how long they have. They might have 30 days. They might don't. It might be 50. I just don't remember the rule. But let's just say 15. That's the 15th. Then you get a reply. I think they get 30. Then there's a reply. And then the Supreme Court, we're talking about the end of the summer, 2026,
Yes.
before the Indiana Supreme Court signs off. If, let's say Rick wins his appeal, and we can talk about the appeal in a minute.
Well,
Let's
that would
say
be
Rick
wonderful.
wins his appeal.
Yes.
Well, it'll be good, but
I know.
let's say Rick
I know that. I know what the chances are, but go on.
The state could file a cert petition. I mean, a lot of them are federal claims. The state could file a cert petition in the Supreme Court. Well, guess what? That's going to be another 6 months.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying they will, but they could. And boy, if I were a deputy attorney general, which I was, I would. But let's say there's no cert petition. So things come back in 2020. We're talking about August. Let's say he wins August of 2026.
Yep.
Something like that. Got to get the lawyers, old lawyers in, new lawyers in. I don't know how that goes, but anything developed now is investigation that won't have to be done then.
Right.
And Rick might get and anything developed now, if it's important enough, actually might prevent a retrial. There might be evidence so important, as in you solve the case or you come up with some. So there are two ways. There are basically two ways Rick wins.
Yes.
And I'm not talking about the appeal. Basically, to get out, one of two things pretty much have to happen. Either the crime is solved and the actual perpetrators are identified.
Yes.
Or pretty conclusive evidence that Rick had nothing to do with it's developed. Those aren't the same things. I mean, the first one would actually be the second, but the second is not the first. And you could come up with conclusive evidence, pretty conclusive evidence that Rick had nothing to do with it. Anyway, conclusive evidence one way or the other, that the state just wouldn't be in a position to retry the case. So in this sense, continuing the investigation now is a ride along with the appeal.
Yeah. So you're saying do it at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep. Simultaneously. Yep.
But people are real optimistic about the appeal. I have reasons that I'm not going to go into, that I do not share the rosy view. It's not just the general odds. It's actually some specific legal reasons that I'm not going to discuss. But so let's say Rick loses the appeal, right?
Yes.
What's behind door number 2?
Yep.
Let's say it's over in August, no cert petition. Now so if he files a state post-conviction petition the day after things are over in state court,
Mm-hmm.
the middle of August of next year, unless they expedite the case, which they might. The state PD's office has a 2-year backlog. The state PD's office has a 2-year backlog.
God.
Nobody will even start to investigate Rick's case until about August of 2028.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about worst case scenarios here. There are better case scenarios, but that's kind of a normal case scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
And frankly, so before a Zoom meeting on Friday with people who matter, and by the way, this Zoom meeting, the existence of this Zoom meeting has been leaked also to people.
Okay.
And absolutely false information about what the upshot of that meeting has been produced. And I was at the Zoom meeting, so y'all over there on your two sites, you can tell me you've been told by my overlords something else, but I'm telling you, whatever you've been told, and at least what you all have been spouting, is not true. In any case, in preparation for that meeting, I wrote a 31-page single-spaced memo for all the people who matter about various things, but mostly about the sort of astonishing state of the investigation that Kara and I and some others have been able to do so far. And we have some pretty remarkable evidence, and I can only say, if Sleuthie's down there in the chat, she can say, yep. Oh, by the way, it's also not true. I don't have any NDAs with anybody. I mean, it's just not true. So
Okay.
look, everything that has been said on these two sites is simply false.
When you say these two sites, you mean X and Reddit?
No, I mean
YouTube
Adrian and Prof.
Oh, sorry, right. Okay.
Oh, there's a lot in Reddit that's untrue too. In fact, one of the people who claim so look, there are these 4 people who trade on what they claim is inside information in exchange for credibility. The problem is their inside information isn't inside information. If they have the correct inside information, they're just not telling the truth. If they're passing along what information they have, they're not being given the truth. And so far, I think everything I have said is from personal knowledge. I don't have to rely on being somebody else's insider. Let's go on. Go ahead. Happy to ask all kinds of questions now. Go ahead.
I'm just letting everybody know I've been starring some people's chats to bring up later.
Hang on, I see one from Judge Jessica. Is Kathy Allen an attorney? She should seek legal advice before making any legal decision. Well, in the very last section of the contract we wrote the contract. You should go consult lawyers about it.
Yeah.
Look, there was nothing forced, coercive, nothing, and we didn't keep pushing ourselves. To this day, we don't have an answer, really.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to make one thing clear from my perspective. I think that Kathy has every right to not sign a contract. Absolutely. Yeah. No problem with that
But as I said,
whatsoever.
The contract was never the point.
Yeah.
Okay. And the other thing I want to say is, and I think I've sort of said this on Reddit in a couple places.
Yeah.
The idea that Kara and I were ever going to permanently be, we're two solo practitioners.
Yes.
It's to keep things going now while some bigger entity, I mean, like there are big law firms that have pro bono sections, right? I mean, they do a lot of pro bono work. I mean, and they, all kinds of, some bigger dog with the resources to actually, take the whole thing over. This isn't about. And oh, somebody said yesterday, well, you've been cut off from the discovery. At least you aren't going to be presenting anything in court. I was never going to be someone who presented anything in court.
So, I mean, Crime just asked, who told you to write it?
People who matter. Okay, I'll spill the beans. Kathy Allen personally asked me to do it and to send it to her lawyer.
Wow. Okay. Kathy Allen asked you to write the contract.
She did.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's a bit of news. And she didn't respond.
Well, let's go back to what I said. We just thought it was a way for it to be acceptable to other people that matter for us to get our hands on the discovery, or at least some of it. I mean, I didn't want all of it. I thought, look, I wanted to make sure all of it was copied and saved. The 31-page memo includes a whole list of things that need to be done pretty quickly.
Yep.
Witnesses that need to be talked to, evidence that needs to be obtained and preserved. It is mostly practical stuff. Shall we get on to the we're talking about the post-conviction stuff. I'll get to the civil suit in a minute.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
Are we finished with the whole contract crap?
I can't see much else in chat unless someone wants to repeat something that's really important. I'll give you a minute.
Okay.
Hey, Amy, how are you? Just saw you come in. Hey. Okay, could it be people you tried bringing in and a video being leaked that caused the problem?
Could it what?
Could it be the people you tried bringing in and a video being leaked that caused the problem?
There was no leak. I wish people would stop talking about this. There was no leak. Andy Baldwin authorized its release. There was no leak. It's a trial exhibit. It is a copy of a trial exhibit. It is a public record. It does not matter whether it has a sticker from the court on it. Normally, whoever introduces a piece of evidence, when they're introducing it, hands a copy to the opposing party's lawyer.
Yep.
This is digital evidence. That video was introduced into evidence. It's a public record. It's a copy of a public record. There is no leak. And I will say something. Let me say this about something else.
Mm-hmm.
People look. I've been on the lawyers since December. They improperly filed, in my view, the exhibits to the Franks memo confidentially. I mean, I think that was contrary to the rule.
Yes.
And I have been on them. And look, they get to make.
You still there?
all I have is ideas. People are willing to take them or leave them. Right?
Mm.
I've been doing this work for 25 years. I think I have some pretty good ideas. If people disagree, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But people wanted the interrogation videos of Rick out ASAP, and hearsay objection coming. My understanding is that the lawyers did not have a copy of the redacted version that was entered at trial. So if they had released the video, the unredacted video, that would not have been a public record. And that would have been coming out of discovery and looks like a leak. Do people understand the difference here?
Yeah, absolutely. I think some people are saying that they're not talking about the BG video; they're talking about the contract leak.
What about the contract leak? The contract leak came from people who matter. I don't know who it came from. It went from people who matter to people who don't matter. And the people who don't matter then decided to give it to their pals on YouTube.
Sure.
With total mis and disinformation about the source.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So what was the next thing you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the civil suit.
Let's do that.
And I think Luke was wrong the other day on, I don't know, 9 days ago or something on your live about the time being up. I think it was Sleuthy on your live who was right. And again, if there's a civil rights lawyer out there who has a better view, I'm happy to be corrected. But as I look at it, basically the statute of limitations is running day by day by day. To whatever happened 2 years ago today, I couldn't get a complaint in. I couldn't get a complaint in tonight about it. So I filed one civil rights complaint against the Department of Correction. It was something they were doing to people's credit time a couple of years ago that was just outrageous. And I know what a fundamental constitutional claim Rick has for his pretrial treatment. I know something, again, I know it semi-personally about I know a few things personally about civil representation for Rick. And my understanding was nobody's showing up for him. So I wrote to people who mattered and said, here's a copy of a complaint I wrote. I have the Westcott report. With the help of some others, I could write a very detailed factual recitation in the complaint, add the fundamental constitutional claim. I have an idea about a couple of state supplemental claims. If the factual recitation is complete enough, the complaint can be amended later under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 15C. And in the meantime, we need to look for a civil rights firm to take this over, because I am in no position to handle the discovery in that kind of case. So again, it was me. If nobody else is doing it, it was just me offering to be a bridge to somebody to get something in, and to be a bridge to somebody who can. I pitched the case. I have pitched the case to two firms. I'll talk about one. Mm-hmm. One's in Chicago, and a former student of mine works there. It's a small firm. She was all for taking it. But there was a lot of resistance in the office and she couldn't overcome it, so they said no. I've pitched it to another firm and they've said no. And one of these sites today, Adrian's site, is saying, "Oh, this is all about tens of millions of dollars, and that's what we're after." Boy, if it was about tens of millions of dollars, where are the civil rights sharks showing? I mean, the people who actually do this work professionally all the time, where are they? If this case is so attractive, I happen to think it is attractive, and I think that we can. I mean, look, all the evidence. Brad Rosie has already produced the evidence at the criminal trial for summary judgment on liability. I can't tell you why people haven't shown up, but all I said about the civil suit, I wasn't trying to interfere with anything. It's like, if you all don't have somebody else to file this, I can do it. It won't be perfect, but it'll be minimally competent. And by the way, here's an example of a complaint I filed a couple of years ago. That's it.
So, I mean, what Sleuthie's explanation of it the other week made a bit more sense to me. Like, if something happened a year ago, then there's no reason why you couldn't sue for it 2 years later. Just because it started 2 years ago doesn't mean that the statute of limitations runs out because it continued into a year ongoing. I suppose that's hard. It's a bad way of putting it. But
here's the deal. It might be down to a specific day if it's tied to the tort claim
yes.
that Brad Rosie filed, but that's in state court. In federal court, you don't have to file a tort claim. It's just a statute of limitations based on the event that you're filing a complaint about. And I don't know enough about the state court, if you're going to file it in state court. I mean, why anybody would even think of filing this case in state court, I don't know.
Okay. So I think, like, people are a bit up in arms about, so why is it anyone's business except Kathy Allen? So she is the
Why
one
is it
who
anyone's
is
business?
yeah.
Because I can, in the end, it isn't. But, she's not the only person who matters here. I mean, she has a lawyer. There are other lawyers involved. Look, I don't want to file a civil rights complaint. It was just, if you all want one, I can do it. I wasn't pushing myself. Somebody's, talking about, oh, it's worth millions and millions of dollars over here, slamming me because that's why I want to get into it. Well, yeah, it may be worth a lot of money. It's not why it's not going to be me doing it and getting a lot of money. It's going to be somebody else I or somebody else can get to agree to take it.
Yeah. Ask the person who posts the contract. Well, I mean, it's the thing. It's like, well, this is where I was coming from when I first started talking about this, and I kind of regret starting talking about it now. But when this started to come up in my feed, I saw antagonism just in relation to people wanting to help, like the fact that people were worried about this statute of limitations running out, the fact that people were concerned about just Rick's mental wellness, about the fact that Kathy's having to make all these decisions, and that with your and Kara's offer as well, that there was that offer put out there, and I mean that Kathy has every right to refuse that, but some of the responses to people's concerns were a bit rude, to be honest, and it just feels a bit like, well, a lot of us just desperately want to help, but it feels like do you want our help? Do you want us to just go away? And that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, well, do you really just want us all to go away? Because we can. Oh, he's gone. Looks like Michael's gone away. Maybe I'll turn my camera on. Come back. Yeah, it feels like that. It feels like it feels his phone died. Yeah. Um, it feels a bit like that. That everything that we say, no matter, and I hate to use the word sides, right? But it feels like no matter what side you're on, no matter what opinion you put out there, no matter what work that you do, there's always somebody to point the finger at you and go, hey, someone else knows it better than you. Hey.
Hey,
Hey.
no, I got to say, you know, on the one hand, I obviously care about the situation Kathy Allen and especially Rick Allen find themselves in. I can't imagine it. On the other hand, these people who are wrapping themselves, and Kathy and Rick Allen are no different, in my view, from the lynch mob wrapping themselves with the patties.
Yeah.
Frankly, taking care, Kathy's situation and Rick's situation. I'm happy. People, people were saying like, well, how can you do anything? You've never even talked to Rick or seen Rick. No, it's true. I haven't. Although he did text somebody. Asking that I bring him a coffee, and or
Okay.
emailed them. And apparently, when I didn't bring him a coffee, he fired me. That was supposed to be funny, I suppose, or at least I was told. But I don't do what I do. I don't need to talk to Rick Allen. I don't actually need to talk to Kathy Allen. You don't. Happy to do it.
Yeah.
But and I'm all for Rick having all the people attending to him in prison, and to Kathy, she needs friends, but that's not what I do. This isn't, what I do is a step removed really from the client, especially where you have an innocent client. It would be different if like Rick was actually there.
Yeah. Just my
Somewhere. I
opinion
mean,
just keeps.
if he had actual, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, this person. Just my opinion. Sorry to, but you keep saying this. Just my opinion about gatekeeping. What do you mean by gatekeeping, Michael? Do you understand what this question's about?
No, and I'm tired of these phrases: gatekeeping, transparency. I'm all for
Yeah.
transparency
Yeah.
when it involves public exhibits. I'm not for transparency for which transparency was not ever intended.
Yeah. I'd fire somebody for not bringing me a coffee too, Finn.
And
Yeah.
look, there's a ton of stuff. There's a ton of stuff. I would be thrilled to be able to share with folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
But unlike a certain investigator is actually parading around saying and talking about witnesses that need to be seriously looked into. Rule one of investigating is you don't talk about to be looked into.
Yeah. Keith says, Michael, if I send tips or evidence to a website, will it be inadmissible in the next trial according to Indiana rules of evidence? Feels like that's also misinformation going around. A good question, Keith.
Well, there is a Gmail address that you can send tips into. It's delphitipmail@gmail.com. It's not that tips are admissible. Tips will have to be investigated. And that's the other thing. You know, I'm trying to develop admissible evidence. There's an awful lot of stuff in this case that somebody told somebody that this happened and this is connected, this person's connected to this person. None of that, nothing admissible is coming out of that.
So I don't really understand your answer, because I think what Keith's referring to is on the website there is a form or something where you can put in basically tips. So you can, if you've got
Okay, well,
information, is that inadmissible?
I don't know what I see. I don't know what, I mean, the tip itself is never going to be admissible unless it's an outright tip. Any tip is a tip. You have to investigate it. In other words, you have to go talk to the person. The tip itself is not going to be admissible.
Okay, maybe that's the wrong word. So say if I were to, regarding that thing with the car, right? So how I found that anomaly with the car. Yeah. If I were to take that bit of video that I made and I were to upload a link and my description of this anomaly and put it onto, send it in via the website, I mean, that itself wouldn't be admissible, but it would need to be investigated. That makes sense, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Because I think that's something that's being discussed out there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't want to discourage people.
You know, no, and I have to say, you know, there have been a few things. So, you know, one of the things that I mentioned about continuing the investigation was, if you don't do it now, evidence will disappear, right?
Mm.
But there's another side to it too, and that is there are people who know things who didn't come forward with what they know.
Yes.
Because they never thought in a million years Rick Allen would be convicted. Some people are coming forward with that information. I don't know how important it is yet. I haven't had time to look at it. But, you know, I think everybody agrees there are people out there who know what happened.
I'm at the point where I just assume everyone's going to get convicted. I just do. Like, a not guilty is very unusual result. So I think everyone's innocent until the very last second, and I assume everyone's going to get found guilty. So it takes a lot to convince me someone's guilty, because it's a very high bar, very, very big burden. But I also think that they're all going to get found guilty. And I'm usually right. I just have something else here. Can Michael or someone else explain to me why neither the prosecution nor the defense subpoenaed RA's Google location data, or did they?
Why what?
Why neither the prosecution nor the defense subpoenaed RA's Google location data, or did they? Do you know about this?
Sorry, I don't know what's going on. You dropped out, if you can hear me.
Okay. So Can Michael or anyone else explain to me why neither the prosecution nor the defense subpoenaed RA's Google location data? Or did they? Maybe someone in chat can help. I think that if there was Google location data available, that it would be exculpatory. Oh, he's gone. It would be exculpatory. So I doubt it was. If it was subpoenaed, then we wouldn't have heard about it. You there?
Yeah, Luke's playing with my internet again.
Yeah,
Maybe it's Alex. Maybe it's Alex Voorhees.
maybe. All right. Has anyone got any more questions for Mr. Osbrook? Have you cleared up everything that you wanted to clear up or not?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think what I've done is I've given, the people who matter all the stuff we've developed so far. We're working on some other things. Nobody said no. So, we keep swimming until somebody bigger comes along.
Michael, do you have any idea why they didn't talk to those girls?
No, I have no idea about any of that. And I really, I really can't talk about stuff I know from trial counsel about the facts of the case.
Sure. Yeah. Someone else has a question for Michael? No, but Skeptic Curiosity said, thanks, Michael, for all you're trying to do to help Rick and to get to the truth about what happened to Abby and Libby. I second that. And thank you, Skeptic Curiosity, for becoming a new member. Much appreciate that. It really helps. Really, really helps. So thank you so much. Rachel says, I just can't with all this. It's sad and disheartening. Attacking people for just trying to help is just wrong. Yeah, well, that's where I'm at, Rachel. That's where I'm at.
Well, and I guess what I would hope is that instead of shit talking the community, these people shit talking the community, these people would turn their attention to things like actual evidence, the exhibits, whatever that can factually move this thing forward. And if they want to spend their time writing letters to Rick, do that. I mean, there are all kinds of ways to help, but my take is that the Montagnards arose because they don't have anything else to talk about.
Apparently EOA had a question, but I'm just trying to find it, guys. I'm trying to find it. It might have been a little while ago. Maybe it's not a question. These situations make me want to produce a Delphi Survivor series. 18 Delphi YouTubers to remote island must make alliances with perceived enemies and face tribal councils. Well, I did have an idea, and that was to just throw you guys all in a live stream and disappear. There you go. But I changed my mind. I decided that that was too cruel. Yes, Lucy, if people were willing to talk and for the right reasons, they do it, period, not just to people they like. Exactly. You see, this is the problem, right? I thought about it, and also, so you guys know, I was actually going to have Prof on yesterday. So Sunday. That's your time, right? Sunday. Today's Monday for you, right? Um, because he emailed me last week and he said to me that are you pushing a narrative or something? And I said, look, no. All the conversations I've had so far have been really organic. Like, I didn't set out to have these conversations, they just happened. Like, I was doing an evidence viewing stream, and I put a link in chat, and Sleuthie and Ange came on, and we got to talking, and these things came out, and yeah, and a lot of it was like news to me, but I'm cool to have these discussions. And yeah, I love those girls. They're great. I have great respect for them. So no narrative. And then I went live. I was actually, yeah, I was going to go live. Um, and I had said to Luke during the week, because he had been in chat, and they had been talking about how they had been working with Luke with that discussion about the putting the exhibits up. And I felt a bit bad that Luke had been in chat, and I had never sort of like offered him to come up and talk. And so I said to Luke during the week, I think in response to a tweet that he said, I could comment. I said, I'm sorry that I didn't invite you up. If you wanted to anytime, that's fine. And then later, just before my stream, he said, oh, what are you streaming about? Maybe I could come on. Well, yeah, okay, that's all right. I didn't know what he was going to be talking about. Fine. And so Luke came on. Because again, all very organic discussion. And then yeah, Prof emailed me and said, well, why are you only showing one side of the story? And I said, I'm not. I've actually been on Prof's channel before. And also, by the way, I'm quite new to this community.
Can
Yeah,
I
sure.
say something about?
Yeah. Go, Michael.
Of the story that I have told tonight, there is no other side of the story.
There shouldn't be.
None.
Yes. And can I get to what I said in response to Prof? Because I said I'm of the point of view that there should be no sides, and I'm open to having you on. Would you like to come on? And he said, well, I'm pleased to hear that you're open. And he had said, sure. And then, but he said, I am going to do a stream tonight. So that was Friday. And he did a stream, and I was there in chat for a while. And then I got timed out. Not quite sure why, but got timed out. But he did credit me with the stream that he was showing. Anyway, regardless, I'm not going to say anything more about that. But I had said to him prior to the Friday, I had said, would Sunday be okay? And he hasn't got back to me. So and let me also say that today I had planned today to be me saying I'm not going to be talking about any of this after today. You saw the name of my my stream today. D-Delphi, I'm done, guys. And yeah, the title is well, the thumbnail said that my last word on the drama. I'm not going to be doing any more of these. So from here on in, my take on it is that I just don't think that there's anything more constructive to be said, unless I could get here's the caveat. If I could actually get people in the same like virtual room and willing to discuss, and with some boundaries, like if people were willing to actually listen to one another and we could have that agreement prior, then I might consider it. But I'm not just going to do this having one person on at a time and as talking about that so and so did this and so did that. There won't be any of that, and there won't be me just talking about stuff that's happened. From here on in, it's about the evidence. If I talk about the Rick Allen case, it'll be about the evidence, and it'll be about things I can contribute.
Me too, and I'll see in the DMs about the wheel covers.
Okay. Yeah.
But I really appreciate this opportunity. You saved me writing another 30-page memo for the public.
Yeah. I just I can't. I just don't think there's anything that can be contributed anymore. Like I was willing to hear from anybody, basically, and not just Prof, but anybody, to try. My hope was to try and just go, okay, that stuff all happens, but line in the sand. Come on, can we all just like focus on the exhibits and trying to share the fact that something went wrong in this trial, and now we need to get the same message out to all the new people who are learning about this. That's what I care about. And remember that you guys all have platforms. Like the people who are talking about this have platforms, and people are coming and visiting their channels, and it's you have influence. People, all of us, even in chat, guys, have influence, right? You guys are in chat and you're saying things, and every one of us, we're all important, right? All of our voices are important, and the way we act, the things that we say, they matter, because new people come in and they see what's going on, and they see whether they're being welcomed. They see if their questions are being met with hostility, or whether they're being met with, hey, that's a good question. Did you know that the bullet evidence was not met with, was not scientifically solid, right? Rather than, oh, did you hear that on so and so's channel? No, they're not right. That kind of stuff. So I just, a blind optimist. I thought I could help with that, but maybe I can't. Maybe I just need to stick to my lane and look at the exhibits that I think I might be able to help with. Look at the theories that I think I might be able to pursue. Thomas Scott says, may I go uncensored right now? Oh, I suppose so. Oh, gee, what are you going to do?
You know, I can give your chat an actual concrete task if they want. If anybody knows of a phone expert who might be willing, I mean, an expert. I'm not talking about somebody marginally better than me, knows more, but is homegrown, so to speak. You know, it's not a home hobby, but if somebody knows a phone expert who's willing to give a quick and dirty opinion about some stuff, and what more he or she would need to know to actually give a quick and dirty opinion about something, let me know.
So a phone expert, did you say?
Yeah, forensic phone expert.
Okay, so there's a few different kinds. So you mean like a phone extraction?
Some, somebody like Stacey Eldridge.
Right. Okay. All right. So, yep. Chat. If you know anyone, that'd be fantastic. And what was it? Did you say another one?
No, that's the
Okay.
homework for today.
The homework for today. Okay. And I've got homework for chat. So, guys, if you have things that you think that I can be of help with other than this, let me know. Because I'm not going to be streaming on this very often anymore. Yeah, what's the point, basically? So yeah, if you see exhibits that my skills would be well honed looking at, send them my way. If you think that I could be of use on someone else's stream, perhaps let me know. But yeah, did Prof tell you he was sick? No. If so, why make it seem like he bailed? I did not make it seem like he bailed. He just didn't get back to me. Sometimes people don't read emails and stuff. He just didn't get back to me. I did not make it seem like he bailed. Stop it. Stop it. Stop putting words in my mouth. That's ridiculous. But it was only 2 days ago. That's not bailed. Stop. Please. I'm not having that. I am not having that. Ridiculous. Hella, did you see the exhibit I posted that looked like a broken key? No, Indy. I will have a look. Hella, I saw the video you did from the Murdoch trial where a guy removed the background noise. Can he do that for the BG video? He already has. It's in my shorts. So that's Gilhammer Media. We had him do that within the first day or so. So yeah, have a look. He has done that. Yeah. People need to listen and pay attention. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Stop trying to make out like people are doing things with malice. They're not, or saying things with malice. I said nothing like that. Ridiculousness. Yeah. And this is again why I'm not playing this game anymore. Right? It's why I'm not playing this anymore. This is so silly. Okay. I have not said a bad word against anybody. Right? No one. I've even been nice to Four Pits, who was in my chat the other day giving me shit. I don't think he's even been timed out, has he? I think it was probably a bit nicer today. But yeah, the other day he was in here saying something about Sleuthy Booby. But yeah, like he was super grumpy at me the other day, and I was saying to him that I really appreciate all the work that he's done, and I am sad to see that he's upset because I didn't mention him in some list, right? So please, ridiculous, yeah. Susie, it doesn't matter how people I don't even know and have never heard their names before go on long rants about me. They'll do whatever they want. Yeah, that's right. He said you were sucking my boob or something. Yeah, and that's the other thing. If you don't like a channel or you don't like somebody, like, why are you watching them? You're just giving them views. You're helping them. I've never understood that. I've never gotten that. Yeah. That's so weird to me. People just don't understand. Thanks for setting the record straight. He said he'd come, then didn't get back to me. Oh, stop it. He did. He actually hasn't responded, right? That's it. Simply hasn't. It's only been 2 days. I'm crap with emails because we're talking on email, not on direct message. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't need to. I actually don't need to justify anything to anybody else. It's a discussion between us. So, done. Lovely. I appreciate everybody. And Michael, thank you for being here. And we're going to go over to potentially criminal. He's running the Karen Reid trial, day 5. When you get over there, could you please?
Thanks again for the opportunity.
You're very welcome. When we get over there, could you please say hello, Raid, if you feel the inclination, and yeah, just say hi and hello, Raid, and have a wonderful day, no matter where you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening. Free Rick Allen.
Her name was Helen. She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube and made some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To the attention, excited young.